Life Pro. Enjoy the music.
Pop quiz. I am holding in my hands two items. And my question to you is, what are the similarities between these items? I guess it was a bit of a difficult question, of course. The similarities between these two items. In this hand I hold a bottle of scotch, in the other hand a beautiful CD, the album No Decoder by Yogi Lang. So what are the similarities between them, especially besides the fact that they're both tasty? Well, to start with the whiskey, this is a blended scotch. Blended means that it's a mixture of different flavors, different sorts of whiskey blended together into one whiskey with a unique taste. Now, I'm going to put this one away. Basically, that's what this album has in common too. I'm going to show it a little closer. There you go. Okay. Now, this album by Yogi Lang is also a blend of different kind of flavors. Of course, Yogi Lang is known for being the leading man in RPWL. He writes everything, he's a singer, and he occasionally plays some keyboards. This is a solo album. Now, of course, when you come to think of a solo album, you expect different kind of influences. You already heard a piece of the music, which was actually from the opening track, Can't Reach You. And there you already heard some of the biggest influence that you also hear in RPWL. That's of course Pink Floyd. Now in this album, No Decoder, it's a bit of everything. You hear a bit of Pink Floyd, you hear a bit of RPWL, but also you hear Yogi Lang, which is a different flavor from the other two. Now, it's a very interesting album because although it might be a little bit obvious or well, not a big surprise because of the influences, what I found most interesting about this album, and that emphasizes the Pink Floyd influence on the album, is that the bass player on the entire album is none other than Guy Pratt, of course familiar from Pink Floyd. And they even wrote one song together, which is called Sail Away, and well, enjoy it.
Love is so beautiful.
You've seen the artwork. I'll show it a little bit more up close. There you go. Personally, I wouldn't say, well, wow, this is really beautiful artwork. I love this. That's the reason to buy the album. As you can see, there's a lot more inside. It actually folds open. Yeah, just showing you a little more detail here. On the back side as well. So, well, there are lyrics inside, so you can read the story, and well, it's cardboard, so it's environmentally friendly, which happens a lot these days. But the artwork in this case is not as important to me. I mean, of course, Yogi is a very spiritual man, and well, there's a message in it, so that's why it's interesting for him. Of course, I'm interested in the music, and there's a lot of interesting music to discover on this album. There are a lot of guest musicians on it, and well, the style is of course similar to Pink Floyd, to RPWL, but you still hear a lot of differences. And I'm happy, of course, that Yogi also does a lot of keyboards himself, especially in the title track, which is definitely one of my favorites, which is called, of course, No Decoder. The album is called No Decoder. So listen to a part of that song. A few tracks of the album so far, and of course the music will sound very familiar. Nevertheless, it is beautiful music. I mean, whether you've heard it before or not, I don't think that's an issue. I think whether you like it or not, that's the issue. Well, I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. It's beautiful music, it's relaxing music. Well, I love to play this one very much. I mean, I've always liked RPWL, and especially the vocals of Yogi, so I'm very happy with it. What is also very nice is the fact that Yogi also tours with his solo album. He's formed his own band, so you can also see him perform this material live, which would of course be very interesting. Now, I mentioned there are a lot of guest musicians on the album. I mentioned Guy Pratt, of course, from Pink Floyd. There's a very interesting small part for Ian Salmon from Arena. He actually, well, he doesn't really play an instrument, but he's doing some narration on the album. So that's interesting to hear his voice for a change, rather than his bass play. The original RPWL drummer, Manny Mueller, is also playing on this album, which is also very nice. And then we come to, well, a very interesting part of the album, a real surprise for me, because I have to cheat here. Dominique Leonetti from the French band Lazuli plays a part on the album, and together with Yogi they wrote a song, and this song is sung in French. Now, how does that sound? Listen for yourself.
Comme un silence que je fredonne, comme un vide que je façonne. Ton absence est un automne passage. J'ai vacillé, j'ai failli, j'ai fait naufrage. Allison, comme une rayure sur l'électrophone, en boucle et monotone. Les jours sont ternes et s'additionnent.
Okay, well, I took you briefly through the album No Decoder by Yogi Lang. You know who's playing on it. I hope you enjoy the music. So I say, well, check this album out. I mean, if you like Pink Floyd, if you like RPWL, then you'll definitely like this album. Well, no, not a question for me if I like it or not. I'm going to leave you with another track that I enjoyed. Normally I take the last track of the album, but this time I picked a different one. It's the the before last track. This one is called Sense Value. So thank you for watching and see you at another review.
Thank you.